Hi, my name is Spacey Al, and this is my beginner's guide to playing crypto. So I've mained crypto for quite a while now. I have about 1,200 kills on Xbox and about 500 here on PC. So a decent amount of time, and I decided to put together a guide on what I've learned and what I think works best, and yeah, hopefully it will give you guys some success if you've never played crypto before. Um, Crypto is a really fun legend. It kind of does take some patience and just some setup, um, but mostly he takes communication. Um, Whether you're playing with a pre-made squad or solo, just some call-outs on your part can make the difference of a good engagement or a really bad engagement. Um, so we'll kind of just go through his abilities, then some tips and tricks, and yeah. So hopefully you'll come away with some good knowledge of playing crypto, or the way I think that crypto is played the best. Alright, so we'll just start with his drone. So his drone can go up to 200 meters, horizontal or vertical. Um, Problem with vertical is you can only see people about 30 meters in, and that's when they pick up and get scanned. So with the scan, you have to line of sight the player, so you can't be behind an object and you won't see them. But if you are in line of sight of the player, you will see them through the wall as crypto. So unlike bloodhounds where you can scan them through walls and everything, it doesn't work quite like that with crypto. So it is your drone placement for tax and like just like kind of recon is pretty important. Um, yeah. So with your drone, when it's shot down or destroyed, however it is, it has a 40-second cooldown. So just kind of keep that in mind. It gets shot down, you have to wait 40 seconds before you can use it. So one of crypto's passives is kind of like an auto reload type of thing. So whatever gun you have in your main hand, if you go into the drone, it takes 3 seconds, then your gun will reload. So kind of nice. It's alright. Normally you try to just reload on your own so you don't get caught without like a half empty magazine, but I don't know, it's alright. Um, yeah, so that's kind of his tactical, very iconic, pretty much what makes crypto crypto. Yeah, so we'll go into his ults. So his ult is the EMP, which will damage players' shields for 50 damage. Um, so with the ult, it will your shields will take damage and you will get disoriented like the enemy. Your teammates will get disoriented, but they won't lose any shield health. So go ahead and do it over this guy. So you see those two dummies, they took 50 health, or damage to their shields. Um, so the EMP has about a 40-meter range. So anyone within that 40 meters well, if they're enemy players, they'll take damage and be disoriented, as will you, and like I said, your teammates will just be disoriented. Kind of like Caustic's gas, but not as bad in my opinion. I think Caustic's gas lasts a bit longer and it's more disorienting. Yeah, so that's his EMP, a very powerful tool if used correctly, and then like I said, we'll talk about that in tips and tricks, how to execute using that in a good manner, I guess. Alright, so banners. Let's talk about banners. So in all the maps, there's these banners, which I don't know. Unless you played crypto, you don't really realize what they do. So it says hostile squads in drone range. I believe it's actually 200 meters from Crypto's body, from what I understand it as. So let's say like, I mean obviously it's not within, or it isn't in the 200 meters, but like if you saw a banner over there, to my knowledge is if you scan that one, it would still be where Crypto's body is, where it would pick up squads, or if there wasn't any. So let's say there was one squad here, it will just have a 1. You can ping it for your teammates. The thing about that is, for whatever reason, when you scan a banner, it will say enemies in the area. So it won't say squads. So that can, I don't know why it's like that, but it can be kind of confusing to someone if they're doing it their first time. They're like, oh, well, there's only one person, when it's normally just talking about squads. So if there's 2, it'd be 2 squads, not 2 people. And if there's 1 person, or if it said 1, it would be 1 squad. I mean, it could be 1 person in 1 squad, but normally it's 1 squad. Yeah, so kind of useful. Normally I'll do scan the banners when I'll go into a new area, or if we've been in area looting for a certain amount of time. Normally I try to check like every 3 minutes or so. I mean, obviously I can't, it's not perfect, but yeah, definitely when you go into new areas, look at banners to see how many squads are in the area. Yeah, so really useful. Alright, let's talk about death boxes and banners and respawning. So a couple seasons ago, they made Respawn made it so where Crypto can pick up banners from death boxes and respawn his teammates. So this is huge in my opinion. I've definitely won a couple games where my teammates go down, I pick up their banners, I dip out, respawn them, and we've won. I mean, it doesn't happen too often. It's probably happened maybe I don't know, 5 or 6 times, but so not too many, but it is definitely useful. So with Crypto's drone can go into the storm and not take any damage. So that's another huge thing. Yeah, so when you go to respawn them, unlike other characters, your drone will respawn them instantly. So normally I don't pick up the mobile respawn beacons playing any other legend, to be honest. If I see one, if I have the space, I'll try to pick one up as Crypto. That way, if you get in a pinch, say you were just fighting in the storm or whatever, your buddies go down, grab their banners, go hide. You don't have to necessarily go halfway across the map to find a respawn beacon thing. You can just drop that, then spawn them right then and there. So that's definitely adds a different type of play style to Crypto. So another thing that Crypto got as well is the survey beacons. So originally Pathfinder was the only one who could use them. Then Respawn made it so where Bloodhound and Crypto could use it as well. Alright, let's talk about using Crypto's drone, since it's kind of the big part. I mean, you're not supposed to be using it that much, but you have to use it correctly and smart. Alright, so let's say that you're pinned down. Let's say there was an engagement, for whatever reason, you had to pull back, you're healing, they're healing, they dipped a little bit. But alright, so whatever the case, so you and your team are hiding, you kind of know where they're at, you don't know exactly what they're doing, they don't know what you're doing, it's kind of a weird standoff. So obviously you're going to want to throw out your drone to see kind of what's going on. But let's say you go like this, they're going to know exactly where you are, because they just saw that drone come from where you're crouched or whatever. So there's a good chance, unless your teammates are watching directly over you, they're gonna push and they're gonna light you up. It's happened numerous times to me. It's yeah. Anyways, so the best way to do it is kind of like go out of your way to come at them a different way. So, I mean, if you get close to where they're at, you'll hear their footsteps, so you'll kind of know if they're pushing you or not. But if you're kind of in this situation, it's just better to get the information anyways. So you see, like, you go around, you kind of go out of the way to come at them at different angles, so they don't necessarily know exactly where you're hiding at. Yeah, so that's kind of like one thing. That just keep in mind, you don't want to give away your location. It's kind of easy to give away your location. You wouldn't necessarily think about, oh yeah, well, they're going to know where I'm at. But so yeah, that's one thing kind of keep in mind. So let's talk about when you go for your attack. So let's call it back. So let's just say you push into the area. You scan the banner. You know that there's a team in here, in this like region or whatever, and yeah, let's say you just come up, oh look, they're right there, whatever. Well, I didn't mean to go. Whatever. So you want to sit here, you want to get prepared for your guys' push. So of course you want to get close, EMP and all that good stuff. But so what you want to do is you want to be able to see them, but you don't want to be out in the open where any like decent player will just shoot you down. I mean, they're really not. Crypto's drone can be a pain to shoot down, depends on how the person's running it, if they're going like that or whatever. Just trying to be evasive. But the best thing is kind of be sneaky about it. I mean, they'll hear the drone, but hopefully you get in a good spot, you kind of like peeking at them, you get the EMP off. They're not necessarily going to be looking to, oh, they'll be looking for the drone to shoot down, but hopefully it's in a good enough spot where you can come down, just burn them down, but still be in their line of sight. So if they run, you kind of have a good indication of where they're going, and yeah, so it's another thing is drone placement. Like I said, it's like if a player gets like, I wish I could shoot down my own drone, but it's really not that hard to shoot down Crypto's drone. So you kind of have to be a little smart or just a little creative of where you put his drone. If it's flat, I kind of try to let's just say it was like flat for whatever reason. I kind of hide it along the ground and like in a good spot. Sometimes, I don't know, it being a battle royale, people are kind of looking at the ground anyways. I've gotten away with on the ground, like here and there, like up high in the 30-meter range, like in a corner, kind of things like that, like just places where you wouldn't necessarily look for something. I don't know, but yeah. So there's another tip. Yeah, I don't know. Crypto is, you really have to learn by playing him. I mean, you can read like all you want, but unless you put it into practice, you'll never really get it. But yeah, this is kind of like my quick guide. It's probably not perfect, but this is just some of the things I've learned playing with Crypto. He's a really fun legend. Like I said, like I feel like he gets a bad rep from players who don't necessarily know how to play him, and just like they're just sitting in the drones all the time, and just like, what are you doing? But so yeah, that's my guide. If I've missed anything that you guys think kind of obvious, just let me know, and then yeah. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Then yeah, thanks for stopping by.